Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Crochet for Baby. Thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet this little jacket for baby girls between 3 and 6 months old. Now you can also make it smaller or bigger. Down here in the information box, I'm going to leave you some information on how you can make it smaller or bigger from a newborn baby up to 6 years old, so be sure to check that out. Now in last week's tutorial, I showed you how to make the little vest, and I mentioned that I was going to add sleeves, so here it is. Now I'm also going to show you how to make the matching little hat, this one here, so I hope you like it. Now also remember that my channel is bilingual. All of my tutorials are in English and in Spanish. At the end of the video, you'll see a little box pop up there. You can click that box and it'll take you to my main channel page. Okay, so let's get started, and thank you for watching. Okay, to begin, I'll be using this 3mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this DK weight yarn. This is the brand of yarn that I'm using. It's called Baby Shimmer DK by James C. Brett. This is in the color BS6. It's a light pink, and I'm also going to use a little bit in white. Okay, so to begin, I have 58 chains. The stitch multiple to this base chain is multiples of 4 plus 2. Now, this chain here is measuring about 25 centimeters, which is almost 10 inches. Okay, so to begin, into the third chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to make a half double crochet. To make a half double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook into the third chain, grab a loop, 3 loops on the hook, close. Again, yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, grab a loop, 3 loops on the hook, close. This is all I'm going to do for this first row. I'm just going to make 1 half double crochet on each one of the chains. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this first row. I'm here at the end of this first row, and I have a total of 57 half double crochets, including the 2 chains here at the beginning. Now for the second row, we're going to chain 2 and turn. Now in this row, what we're going to do is we're going to make 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and into the fourth, 2 double crochets. The 2 chains never count as a stitch. Beginning on top of the first half double crochet, make your first double crochet. That's 1, into the next, that's 2, into the next, that's 3. Now into this fourth half double crochet, you're going to do 2 double crochets. This is how you're going to continue for this second row. You're going to repeat 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and into the next 2 double crochets. Continue like this, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of this second row. Here at the end, I finish with 4 double crochets. We're always going to finish with 4 double crochets here at the end. And I have a total of 69 double crochets for this second row. Now for the third row, we're going to chain 2 and turn. These 2 chains never count as a stitch. Now in this row, we're going to make 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next 2 double crochets. So let me show you. Beginning on top of the first double crochet, make your first double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets, and into the next 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. This is how you're going to continue for this third row. You're going to repeat 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next 2 double crochets. Continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this third row. Okay, I'm here at the end of this third row. I have a total of 82 double crochets. Now here at the end, remember we always finish with these last 4 double crochets. Now for the fourth row, we're going to chain 2 and turn. In this fourth row, we're going to make 5 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the next 2 double crochets. So let me show you. Beginning on top of the first double crochet, make your first double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets, and into the next 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. This is how you're going to continue for this fourth row. You're going to repeat 5 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the next 2 double crochets. At the end of this fourth row, you're going to have 95 double crochets. Continue, and I'll meet you here at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of this 4th row. Here at the end, remember we always finish with these last 4 double crochets. Now for this row, I have a total of 95 double crochets. For the 5th row, we're going to chain 2 and turn. Now in this row, we're going to make 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and into the next 2 double crochets. So let me show you. Beginning on top of the first double crochet, make your first double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochets, and into the next 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. This is how you're going to continue for this 5th row. You're just going to repeat 6 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and into the next 2 double crochets. At the end of this 5th row, we're going to have 108 double crochets. I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, finish this 5th row. I have a total of 108 double crochets. Now for the 6th row, we're going to chain 3 and turn. Now these 3 chains here counts as a double crochet. Now in this row, we're going to make V-stitches. Each one of these V-stitches is going to consist of a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So beginning into the 3rd double crochet, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to make a V-stitch. Skip 1, 2, and into the 3rd, another V-stitch. Again, skip 1, 2, and into the 3rd double crochet, 1 more V-stitch. This is how we're going to continue for this 6th row. We're just going to make these V-stitches. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this 6th row. I'm here at the end of this 6th row. I have a total of 35 V-stitches. Now to finish this row here, we're just going to go on top of the last double crochet and make a double crochet. And this is how I finish the 6th row. Now for the 7th row, chain 3 and turn. Now in this row, what we're going to do is each one of the V-stitches has 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. We're going to work front post double crochets on each one of the double crochets, and inside the V-stitch you're going to work a fan of 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets. So let me show you. Front post double crochet into the first double crochet, a fan inside the chain 2 space, two double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, and then a front post double crochet. Now again, front post double crochet into the next V-stitch, a fan inside the chain 2 space, and a front post double crochet. This is how you're going to work each one of the V-stitches, so continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this 7th row. I'm here at the end of this 7th row. This is where we did these fans. Now I have a total of 35 fans, just like I did for the row of V-stitches. Now here at the end, we're always going to finish by making one last double crochet into the 2nd chain here at the end. And that's how I finish the 7th row. Now for the 8th row, we're going to chain 3 and turn. In this row, we're going to repeat the row of V-stitches. So inside each one of the fans, you're going to make a V-stitch. So double crochet, 2 chains, double crochet. Jump to the next and do another V-stitch. This is all we're going to do for this 8th row. At the end of this 8th row, you're going to have 35 V-stitches. Continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 8th row. In this row, we did V-stitches, and I have a total of 35 V-stitches. Now, to finish, remember that we always pinch the 2nd chain here at the end and make a double crochet. Now, for the 9th row, we're going to chain 3 and turn. Now, in this row, we're going to repeat this row of fans. So, this first double crochet here, we're going to work a front post double crochet. Inside the chain 2 space of the first V-stitch, you're going to make a fan. Two double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, and then a front post double crochet. Again, let me show you. Front post double crochet, a fan inside the chain 2 space, and a front post double crochet. And this is all you're going to do for this 9th row. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this 9th row. Okay, I finished the 9th row. Here at the end, all I did was just make one last double crochet. So I have a total of 35 fans in this 9th row, and the yoke is done. Now, if you measure right across like this, it's measuring about 10.5 centimeters, which is a bit over 4 inches. Now, what we're going to do is, in the next row, we're going to divide the sleeves. So here I have placed my stitch markers. I have 5 fans here for the front panel. Then we're going to skip 7 fans. And then I have my next stitch marker. For the back side, this part here, I have 11 fans. And then again, for the sleeve, I have 7 fans. And then here in the front, 5 fans for the front panel. So in the next row, we're going to start counting rows, and we have to do the row of V-stitches. So this is going to be the first row. So chain 3, turn, and here we're going to make 5 V-stitches. So beginning into the first fan, you do your first V-stitch. Remember, it's a double crochet, 2 chains, double crochet. Same thing into the next fan. So this is 2. Into the next. This is 3. Into the next. This is 4, and into this next one, another one. This is your 5th V-stitch. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, into this same fan here, we're going to make 1 more V-stitch. So this last fan has 2 V-stitches. And that's 2 V-stitches. Now, to divide the sleeve, we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and into the 8th fan right here, we're going to make 2 V-stitches. That's 1. And 2. Now, you're going to continue along the back side and work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 V-stitches. Into this last one, we're going to do 2. So continue, and I'll meet you right about here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making these V-stitches here along the back. Now here we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. 13 V-stitches here for the back side. Now to divide the sleeve, we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and into this 8th fan, you're going to do 2 V-stitches. That's 1 and 2. Now you're going to finish by making these last 4 V-stitches, and I'll meet you right here at the end of this first row to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this first row. This is where we divided the sleeves and we did these V-stitches. You should have a total of 25 V-stitches for this first row. Now to finish, we're going to pinch the second chain here and make a double crochet. And this is how I finished the first row. Now for the second row, you're going to chain 3 and turn. Now in this row, we're going to repeat the row of fans. So beginning into this first V-stitch, the first double crochet, we work a front post double crochet. Inside this chain 2 space, you're going to make 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets. And then a front post double crochet. Again, jump to the next V-stitch, work a front post double crochet, then in a fan inside the chain 2 space, and then a front post double crochet. This is how you're going to work each one of these V-stitches, so continue and I'll meet you at the end here of this second row. I'm here at the end of this second row. This is where we did these V-stitches, and I have a total of 25 V-stitches. Now to finish this second row, you're just going to pinch the second chain here at the end and make a double crochet. And this is how we finish the second row. Now for the third row, chain 3 and turn. In this row, we're going to make the V-stitch row. So beginning into this first fan, you're going to do your first V-stitch. Jump to the next one and do the same thing. Another V-stitch. That's 2. Three. 4. 5. 6 V-stitches. Now right here, right in the middle, right in the very center, right here, you're going to make 2 V-stitches. So it's right in the middle between the first fan to the back and the last fan to the front panel. So right in the very middle, right here, you're going to do 2 V-stitches. Here we're going to increase. So again, that's 1 and 1 more. So we're going to do 2 V-stitches. That's 2 right there, 1 and 2. Now you're going to continue work these V-stitches for the back side. Then right here, right in the middle again, right before we finish, under this sleeve here, you're going to do your 2 V-stitches and then finish with these last 6 V-stitches. I'll meet you at the end of this third row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this third row and I have a total of 29 V-stitches. Don't forget to do your increase here into this other side. So we did 2 V-stitches here under the sleeve and then 2 V-stitches here under the sleeve. So we added 4 extra V-stitches in this row, so that makes a total of 29 V-stitches. Now to finish, pinch the third chain, the second chain, and make a double crochet. And this is how we finish the third row. Now for the fourth row, we're going to chain 3 and turn. We're not going to make any more increases or anything here. So here in this row, we're just going to work this fan row in the same way that we always do. Into the first V-stitch, work a front post double crochet. Then inside the chain 2 space, you work a fan, two double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, and then a front post double crochet. Again, into the first double crochet of this V-stitch, work a front post double crochet. Inside the chain 2 space, you make a fan. And then a front post double crochet. This is all we're going to do for this fourth row. At the end of this fourth row, we're going to have 29 fans. Continue and I'll meet you here at the end. I'm here at the end of this fourth row. This is where we did these fans. Now to finish, we're just going to pinch the second chain here at the end and make a double crochet. Now at the end of this row, you should have a total of 29 fans. From here on, we're going to just repeat these 2 rows, the row of fans and the next row, which is the V-stitch row. And at the end of every row from here on, you're either going to have 29 fans or 29 V-stitches. So to do the next row, row 5, you're going to chain 3 and turn. So here we're going to do V-stitches. Inside each one of these chain 2 space of each fan, you're going to do your V-stitch. This is a very easy stitch. So this is all we're going to do from here on. Just repeat these 2 rows like this. Remember that each one of the V-stitches consists of a double crochet, 2 chains, double crochet. And this is all you're going to do. When you finish here, don't forget to make a double crochet here at the end, chain 3, and then repeat this row of fan. And you're going to finish with 29 fans or 29 V-stitches, depending on which row you're in. Now, from here on, I'm just going to continue and work these 2 rows. I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do, but continue watching and you'll see how many rows I'm going to do for this part. So I'll meet you at the end of that row. Okay, I'm here at the end of the 13th row. So from here where we divided the sleeves up to this row, there's 13 rows. This is where we divided. So this is, let's see, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. This row I haven't completed the fan row, so this is what we're going to do next. So this would be row 14. Now here to do this row, you're going to chain 3 and turn. And this fan here, instead of doing 2 chains, we're going to do 1 chain. So work a front post, double crochet, then work your fan, but chain 1 instead of chain 2, and then finish. And that's all. So these fans here, you're only going to chain 1. Continue, finish this row, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, I finished this last row. This is row 14 here at the end. I just finished by making my last double crochet. Now I cut my yarn and passed my yarn through this last loop. So now with this white color, I'm going to insert my hook here on top of this last double crochet that I did. Grab a loop, bring it through the front, chain 1, and turn. Now this row here is optional, it's just a little border that I'm going to do. So into this same stitch here, make a single crochet. Now chain 2, inside this chain 1 space of this first fan, make a single crochet, 3 chains, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet between these 2 fans right here, chain 2, single crochet inside the chain 1 space of the next fan, 3 chains, single crochet, 2 chains, single crochet between the 2 fans. And this is all I'm going to do. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of this row. Now I have my last 2 chains to finish. We're just going to pinch the second chain here at the end and make a single crochet. Now we're going to make one more row, so chain 1 and turn. Now on top of this first single crochet, make a single crochet, chain 2, inside this chain 3 space, make a single crochet, 3 chains, single crochet again, 2 chains, and then right in the middle where we have this single crochet, make a single crochet, 2 chains, single crochet inside the chain 3 space, 3 chains, single crochet, 2 chains, and then again a single crochet where we have the single crochet like this. And this is what it should look like. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, I'm here at the end. This is what it looks like. Now to finish this, I have my last 2 chains, and on top of this last single crochet, make a single crochet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go here along the edge, and we're going to make single crochets. Now I like to do this part with a slightly bigger hook, so I'm going to switch to this 4mm crochet hook. You can still do it with the same hook. The only thing is that you may need to add more stitches here. Now this part here tends to shrink a little, so that's why I like to use a bigger hook. It helps with the shrinking part here. So now to start here, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go into this single crochet space right there and make a single crochet into the next row. And now we have either a double crochet or the 3 chains, double crochet, 3 chains. So in the double crochet space, we're going to do 2 single crochets. In the chain 3 space, you're going to make 1. Again, we have a double crochet, so make 2 single crochets, then 1, 2, and 1, and so on. This is how we're going to continue along the edge, and that's what it should look like. So continue, and I'll meet you right about here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I have 37 single crochets along this side. Here in this row, half double crochets, I did 2, and then in the row of chains up here, I did 1. So you should have 37 single crochets. Now, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and here we're going to go back down and work single crochet. So beginning on top of the first single crochet, make a single crochet, on top of the next single crochet, and so on. Continue, and I'll meet you here at the bottom to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the bottom now. We're going to chain 1, turn. Now in this row, what we're going to do is we're going to add buttonholes. I'm only going to add 2. If you want to add more, you can. Now here on top of this first single crochet, make a single crochet, and then work your way up and make a total of 29 single crochets. I'll meet you right about here to show you how we're going to make our first buttonhole. Okay, I finished making my 29 single crochets. Now I have my first stitch marker. You're going to chain one, skip this single crochet and into the next, make a single crochet into the next. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain one, skip one single crochet and into the last single crochet, make your last single crochet. And this is how I just made my buttonholes. Now I'm going to be using these buttonholes here. These are little lambs. I'm going to measure these for you. I already made sure that they do go through this chain one space that I did here. So these little lambs here measure, let's see, from head to rump, it's measuring about 2.5 centimeters. And it's about almost 2 centimeters from top to bottom. So now you can also use these buttons here. These are, let's see, these are 9mm buttons. And if you prefer, you don't have to do the chain one space here because it might be too big of a space here. So what you can do is just continue and work single crochets, and you see this gap right in between? That's where you can put these buttons like this. Since we're using a bigger hook, the stitches are a bit bigger, and see, that works perfect. So you can do the same thing. You don't have to do the chain one space, but rather just work your way up with single crochets. Now these, again, like I said, these are 9mm buttons, so you can use those. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work single crochets around the neckline as well. So here we're going to go into this last single crochet that I did and work a single crochet into the next row, and then a single crochet into this first chain. And then into each one of these chains, make one single crochet like this. So continue, and I'll meet you here at this other side to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at this other side of the neckline. Now for this part here, we're going to work single crochets just like we did on the other side, and we're going to do the exact same thing minus the buttonholes. So we're going to do 3 rows of single crochet. So beginning into this row here, we're going to make 2 single crochets, then 2 again, and then 1, and then 2, then 1 and 2, and so on. Try to have the same number of single crochets as we did the other side, which is 37. So continue, work your way down. Here you're going to finish, chain 1, turn, and then work your way up. When you're done, here at the top, you're going to chain 1 and turn, and then work your way down for your 3rd row. I'll meet you at the end of the 3rd row. Okay, I finished making this last row. All I did here at the end was just cut my yarn and pass my yarn through this last loop, and my little vest is done, and this is what it looks like. Now, if you want to make this into a nice little jacket or a little baby sweater, we're going to add sleeves next. So continue watching, and I'm going to show you that next. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add sleeves, like I was saying. So here I already did one. This is what it looks like. We're going to do this in the exact same way. Nothing's going to change, so both sides are going to be done in the same way. So we're going to go here to this side, and right under the sleeve, right here, right there into that gap that you see, we're going to insert our hook. We're going to use the same hook, this 3mm crochet hook with this baby yarn. It's the same yarn. So here we're going to chain 4. Now into this same space here, make a double crochet. Now in this first row that we're going to work around the sleeve, we're going to make V stitches. We're going to continue with the same pattern. Remember, the pattern consists of a V stitch row and a row of fans. So in this row, we're going to do the V stitch row. Now between the first fan and this part here, there's going to be a gap if I continue and work my first V stitch here. So I don't want that, so I'm going to work a double crochet into this fan. This is where we separated the sleeve. So right into that same fan, make a double crochet. Now jump to the first fan around the sleeve and make your V-stitch. Remember, your V-stitches consist of a double crochet, 2 chains, double crochet. That's all you're going to do now. Jump to the next one and do the same thing. Another V-stitch. Continue like this all around, and I'll meet you right about here into this last fan right here to show you how we're going to finish this first row. Okay, I'm here at this other end of the sleeve. Up to here I have 8 V-stitches. Now what we're going to do here is the same thing we did here at the beginning. We're going to make a double crochet into this fan where we separated the sleeve. So insert your hook there and make a double crochet. Now we're going to make one last V-stitch, and we're going to do it here into this same space right in the center, right where we have the first V-stitch that we did. These are the 4 chains. So right here, right next to this, we're going to make another V-stitch. And there it is. Now we should have 9 V-stitches all around. To finish, we're just going to go here to the side, or you can pinch the 3rd chain. I'm going to insert my hook here to the side and join with a slip stitch. Now this is how I finished this first row with a total of 9 V-stitches. Now for the second row, chain 1, and right here where we have the 3 chains, insert your hook and work a front post double crochet. Now inside this chain space, you're going to work your first fan. 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets. And then a front post double crochet. Now jump to the next V-stitch and do the same thing. Front post double crochet, a fan inside the chain 2 space, and then a front post double crochet. And this is all you're going to do for each one of the V-stitches, so continue and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I'm here at the end of this second row. I have 9 fans. Now to finish, we're just going to go here to the side where we did the chain and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the second row. From here on, this is all we're going to do, the V-stitch row and the fan row, and we're always going to have 9 fans or 9 V-stitches. So for the third row, you're going to repeat the row of V-stitches. So make 3 slip stitches, 1 on top of the first double crochet, the next one on top of the next, and the next one inside the chain 2 space. Now here, chain 4 and make a double crochet. Jump to the next fan and do another, and make your first V-stitch or your second V-stitch. Double crochet, 2 chains, double crochet. And this is all you're going to do for this row. Just make these V-stitches. So continue and I'll meet you here at the end of this third row. I'm here at the end of this third row. This is where we did these V-stitches. I have 9 V-stitches. Now to finish, just go here to the side of these 4 chains and join with a slip stitch. And this is how we finish the third row with 9 V-stitches. Now from here on, like I said, you're going to repeat these 2 rows, the row of fans and the row of V-stitches. So in the next row, we need to do the row of fans. So chain 1, and into the 3 chains here, work a front post double crochet, and then a fan inside this chain 1 space. Your fans are always going to be 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, and a front post double crochet. Again, jump to the next V-stitch and do the same thing. Front post double crochet, a fan inside the chain 2 space, and a front post double crochet. This is all you're going to do. When you're done, you're going to join here to the side of this fan with a slip stitch, and then you're going to repeat the row of V-stitches. You're going to work 3 slip stitches, and once you're inside this chain 2 space, you're going to chain 4 and a double crochet, and then work 1 V-stitch on each one of the fans. These are the 2 rows that you're going to repeat until we have a total of 12 rows. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of the 12th row. Okay, I'm here at the end of the 12th row. So in total, I have done 12 rows, and my last row here is this row of fans. So let's count them. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And it's measuring from the top of the neckline down to the end of the sleeve. It's measuring about 10.25 inches, which is about 26 centimeters. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to reduce this part to shape the wrist. So we're going to make these 3 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3. Now chain 1 and into this same space here make 3 single crochets. It's 2, 3. Jump to the next fan, inside the chain 2 space make 3 single crochets. Same thing into the next, 3 single crochets, and so on. This is all we're going to do for this row, so continue and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, I finished this row, single crochets all around. This is what it looks like. Now here, all I did was just join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch, cut my yarn and pass my yarn through this last loop. Now the next 2 rows we're going to work in this white color so that it looks like this. The last row is the crab stitch, so I'm going to show you that as well. So insert your hook into the same stitch where you did the slip stitch, grab a loop with this white yarn, and then chain 1. And into this same space here make a single crochet. Then all you're going to do is just make 1 single crochet for each one of the single crochets that you did on the previous row. So single crochets all around. Now when you finish this row, you're going to join to the top of the first single crochet, chain 1, and then make your first single crochet into this same stitch and then work 1 more row. So I'll meet you at the end of that second row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this second row, single crochets. Now to finish, just go on top of the first single crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the second row. Now we're going to make 1 more row, and what we're going to do is the crab stitch. So chain 1. Now to work the crab stitch, you're going to go backwards. So insert your hook into the last single crochet that you did and make a single crochet. Like this. Insert your hook into the next single crochet going backwards and work a single crochet. Another one, single crochet, and single crochet. This is all we're going to do for this last row, so continue and I'll meet you here at the end, and then I'll show you our finished baby sweater. Okay, I finished making my last row here, this row of crab stitch. Now all I did was just join to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn and pass my yarn through this last loop, and the sleeve is done. This is what it looks like. Now you're going to do the exact same thing here for the other side. You're going to do it in the exact same way. Nothing's going to be different. So go ahead and do that. Now I'm also going to show you how to make the matching little hat, so continue watching and you'll see that next. Okay, to begin, I'll be using this 3mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this number 3 baby yarn. You can also use any DK weight yarn. Now, it's the same yarn that I used to make the little vest or the little sweater. So here to begin, I have 8 chains. Into the second chain from the hook, I'm going to make a single crochet. Here, what we're going to do is the brim. Now into the next chain, you're going to do the same thing, and into each one of the chains, you're just going to make single crochets. Like this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 single crochets, turn, and chain 1. Now here what we're going to do is we're going to make single crochets, but we're only going to go through the back loop. So beginning into this first single crochet, insert your hook through the back loop and make your first single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now turn, chain 1, and repeat the same thing. Through the back loop of the first single crochet, make your first single crochet and continue doing the same thing. Now I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do. This is going to be the brim, like I said, but continue watching and I'll let you know how many rows I have done. So I'll see you at the end of that row. Okay, I finished making my brim. I did a total of 78 rows, and this here is measuring about 34 centimeters, which is about 13.5 inches. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to join both ends, and to do this, we're just going to insert our hook here into this first stitch and grab this loop. Bring it through the front, chain one, and into this same stitch here, insert your hook, and through the first single crochet in the back, grab a loop and make a slip stitch. Now insert your hook into the next stitch and into the second single crochet here in the back, grab a loop and make a slip stitch. This is how we're going to join, so continue and I'll meet you once this part here is done. Okay, I finished joining both ends and this is what it looks like. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make half double crochets here along the edge. So to do this, we're going to chain one here, and to make our first half double crochet, we're going to go here into this first row. For each one of the rows, we're going to do one half double crochet. Then into the third row, we're going to do two half double crochet. So we're going to increase here. So yarn over, insert your hook into this first row right here, grab a loop, 3 loops on the hook, close. Here's the first half double crochet. Into the next row, right along the very edge, insert your hook, grab a loop and make your next half double crochet. Yarn over again and into the next row right here, make 2 half double crochets. So every 3 rows we're going to increase. So we're going to make 2 half double crochets. Now again, into the next row, make 1 half double crochet, into the next 1 half double crochet, and into the next, which is the third row, make 2 half double crochets, 1 and 2. This is all I'm going to do for this part here, so continue and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I'm here at the end of this row of half double crochets. Now up to here I have a total of 104 half double crochets. Make sure that you finish with an increase here. So now to finish, we're going to go here to the side where I have the chain and join with a slip stitch. Now I've cut my yarn, so I'm just going to pass my yarn through this. Now what I'm going to do is insert your hook into the same stitch where we did the slip stitch. If you're not changing color, then all you have to do is just chain 1. Now grab this loop with this pink color. This is the same yarn that I used to make the little jacket or the little vest. So just chain 1 here. Now we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and into the fourth half double crochet, which is this one here, we're going to make a front post double crochet. Now in between these 2 half double crochets right there, you're going to make a fan. Your fan is going to consist of 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets. Now into the next half double crochet, which is this one here, make a front post double crochet. And here's the first fan. Again, skip 3 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and into this fourth half double crochet, work a front post double crochet. In between these 2, this is where we did the front post double crochet, and then we have the next half double crochet. So right in the middle, you're going to insert your hook and make your fan. 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, and then a front post double crochet into the next half double crochet, like this. Again, skip 1, 2, 3, and into the fourth, make a front post double crochet right in the middle between these 2, make your fan, and then a front post double crochet into the next half double crochet. Again, skip 1, 2, 3, and into the fourth half double crochet, work a front post double crochet right in the middle between these 2, work a fan, and then a front post double crochet into the next half double crochet. And this is all we're going to do for this first row to our pattern stitch. So continue, and I'll meet you here at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of this first row to our pattern stitch. This is where we did these fans. Now to finish here, I only have 4 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4 half double crochets. Now what I'm going to do is, to make this last fan, I'm going to skip 1, 2, and into the third and fourth is where I'm going to do this last fan. So work a front post double crochet here, and inside work your fan. Now and into this last half double crochet, work your front post double crochet. And now I have 21 fans. Now you can easily adjust this hat to make it for any size. You can just do the same thing I did here. I just adjusted my stitches here at the end. Now to finish here, we're just going to join to the side of this chain and make a slip stitch. Now for the second row, we're going to make 3 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3. So your first slip stitch is into the first double crochet, slip stitch into the second, inside the chain 2 space, a slip stitch again. Now chain 4, and inside this space here, make a double crochet. In this row, what we're going to do are V stitches. So into the next fan, work a double crochet, 2 chains, double crochet. Jump to the next one and do another V stitch. These are the 2 rows that we're going to repeat from here on. So continue and finish this row of V stitches, and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I'm here at the end of this second row. This is where we did V stitches, and I have a total of 21 V stitches. Now to finish, we're going to pinch here the second chain, 1, 2, 3, or actually the third chain, or you can just go inside here and join with a slip stitch. I think I'm going to pinch the third chain. Now this is how I finished this second row. Now in the third row, we're going to repeat this row of fans. So you're going to chain 1, and here right there into these 3 chains, work a front post double crochet. Inside this chain 1 space, make your fan, 2 double crochets, 2 chains, 2 double crochets, and then a front post double crochet into this next double crochet. Now for each one of the V stitches, you're going to do the following. You're going to work a front post double crochet into this first double crochet of this V stitch. Inside the chain 2 space, you're going to make your fan, and then a front post double crochet. This is all we're going to do for each one of the V stitches. So continue, and I'll meet you here at the end. I'm here at the end of this third row. This is where we did these fans. Now from here on, these are the 2 rows that we're going to repeat. This row of V-stitch and the row of fans. Now to finish this row, all you're going to do is just go here to the side where we have the chain and join with a slip stitch. Now to make your next row, which is the V-stitch row, you're going to make 3 slip stitches. So make a slip stitch on top of the next double crochet, a slip stitch into the next, and a slip stitch inside the chain 2 space. Now once here, chain 4, and into this same space, make a double crochet. Now inside each one of the fans, you're going to make your V-stitch. Remember that your V-stitch consists of a double crochet, 2 chains, double crochet. Jump to the next one and do the same thing, another V-stitch. This is all I'm going to do for this third row, which is the V-stitch row. Once I'm done, I'm just going to join here to the side, or just insert your hook here and join with a slip stitch, then chain 1 and repeat this row of fans. These are the 2 rows that you're going to repeat from here on. I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do, but continue watching and you'll see how many rows I'm going to do exactly. So I'll see you at the end of that row. Okay, I'm here at the end of the 7th row. So in total, I have done 7 rows. We have 2, 4, 6, 7 rows. Now, my last row here is the row of fans. So in the next row, the row of V-stitches, we're going to start to reduce the crown of the hat. So right now, as it is, let me measure it for you. It's measuring about almost 5 inches, which is about 12 centimeters. Now, like I said, what we're going to do next is the V-stitch row. So I'm inside this first fan, Now chain 3, make a double crochet. Jump to the next fan and do 2 double crochets. So this is where we're going to change the V-stitches. We're not going to make any chains in between, so all you're going to do is just 2 double crochets. Continue like this and I'll meet you at the end of this 8th row. I'm here at the end of this 8th row. This is where we did these 2 double crochets inside each one of these fans. Now here to finish, just go here to the side and join with a slip stitch. So now for the 9th row, we're going to chain 1, and right here where we have these chains, we're going to work our first front post double crochet. Now in the middle between these 2 stitches, I'm going to make a double crochet, 1 chain, double crochet. So here we're going to change the stitch, and now a front post double crochet. Again into the next, a front post double crochet in the middle, double crochet, 1 chain, double crochet, and then a front post double crochet. This is all we're going to do for this row, so continue and I'll meet you at the end. I'm here at the end of this 9th row. Now to finish, just go here to the side where we have the chain and join with a slip stitch. Now for the 10th row, we're going to make 2 slip stitches. So make a slip stitch on top of the first double crochet and a slip stitch inside the chain 1 space. Now here, chain 2, and inside each one of these fans, or the chain 1 space of each one, you're going to do a double crochet. This is all we're going to do here for this row. So continue, work 1 double crochet inside each one of the fans, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of this 10th row. This is where we did 1 double crochet inside each one of the fans. Now here to finish, just go here to the side or pinch the 2nd chain and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finish this row. Now chain 2, and into the next double crochet, insert your hook, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook into the next, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close. Again, repeat the same thing into the next 2 stitches. And this is all I'm going to do for this last row. So continue and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, I'm here at the end. To finish, I'm just going to go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this part here is done. Now I'm going to pull this loop here, and then I'm going to tie a little knot here. I've already cut my yarn. We're going to pass our yarn through this needle like this, and then we're going to weave this yarn around this last row. So on each one of the stitches, you're just going to insert your needle through. Now insert this yarn through this little hole, and we're going to turn this like this. Now pull your yarn so that this little hole closes. Perfect. Now with this little loop that we did, we're just going to tie it here. And this part here is done. Now let me show it to you. This is what it looks like. It's so cute. Look at that. And it's done. A little beret hat or little hat is done to match the little vest or the little jacket. And that's what it looks like. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add a pompon. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and show you the finished hat. Okay, so here's my finished baby hat. This is what it looks like. I went ahead and added the little pompon. So now we have a matching hat to go with the little sweater. This one here that I just showed you, this is what it looks like. I think it turned out super cute. Now you can make it into a vest or a little sweater. Okay, so that's what it looks like, and a matching little hat. Okay, so this has been today's tutorial. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.